Good afternoon, Facebook. It is such an amazing day. It is Fearless Friday, and I am so excited to be on here. Listen, I want you to like, share, tag, invite anybody you may believe may need to hear a word, may need to hear something that's going to help elevate them, get them to that next level in their life. Listen, God has a plan for your life, and His plan for your life is to prosper you in every area of your life. I'm not going to be before you long, but I did want to come on here and I did want to give you some nuggets on how to proceed in regards to how you elevate to the next level. Today we're going to be talking about fear of expectations. A lot of people don't want to talk about expectations, don't want to when they're dating someone or when they're looking for certain situations or certain things that happen in their life. They don't want any expectations. Like if I don't expect this thing, then it doesn't. I'm not winning or I'm not losing because I'm not expecting anything. So I want to talk to you again about fear of expectations. Listen, it's time for you to start expecting things. Without expectation, there can be no faith. And I'm going to tell you something. Without the understanding that you have to expect something in order to get something, then you will never receive the things in which you desire to get. Let me tell you something. When God created us, He empowered us. He blessed us to what? Expect to be fruitful and multiply. Expect us to dominate the earth, have dominion over the air, over the fowls of the air, over the fish of the sea. We're supposed to walk in authority, have and be in expectation of blessings that are supposed to come our way. Once you expect it, then you can accept it. Listen, a lot of times we're not able to grow. We're not able to expand. We're not able to propel ourselves to the next level. Why? Because we don't have any expectations of things happening for us. If you want a good day, you got to expect a good day. If you want love, then you got to expect love. If you want joy, then you got to expect joy. It's time to stop walking in fear of expectations and saying to yourself, listen, if it doesn't happen, I'm okay with that. Listen, I don't expect things to happen for me. I don't expect this to happen for me, but if it happens, oh well. Get out of that mindset. I want you to understand that expectations are what brings you to faith. And let me tell you something. When you expect a thing, it's going to come to fruition because you're going to start walking it out on a daily basis. You're going to start talking it out on a daily basis. You're going to start thinking about it on a daily basis. Listen, I expect blessings. I expect overflow. I expect healing. I expect joy. I expect love. I expect hope. It's going to be something that is ingrained in you. And what happens is once you start to get the mindset of expecting great things to happen for your life, then you'll start living with standards. The reason that people don't expect anything is because they don't understand that there's standards that come behind expectations. So if you want something great in your life, then there's something that has to happen in you for some standards to change in you in order for that thing to come to fruition. But the reason that people don't want to expect something because they don't want to expect something from themselves. So let me tell you something. You've got to stop walking in fear and understand that there's fearlessness on the inside of you. God is not giving you the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. So you got to walk in power and understand that you've expected some things to happen in your life and it's going to come to fruition. You've expected some great things to come into your life and it's going to come into fruition. You've expected some love to come into your life and it's going to come to fruition. You've expected your business to grow and it's going to come to fruition. But let me tell you something. You got to understand again, with expectation comes standards. So you got to ask yourself, am I really living the standards in which I need to live in order for my expectations to happen, in order for my expectations of myself to grow, in order for the expectations of the things that I desire to grow? You've got to understand that. Get out of that fear of expectation, because as long as you don't expect something, it's not going to happen. But once you start living in expectation, living in the overflow of expectation, understanding that things can happen, great things can happen out of nowhere just because you've expected it to happen. Blessings can fall out the sky. Mail, you can get checks that you didn't even ask for. You can get, money in your bank account that you didn't even think was coming. But let me tell you something. If you come with the heart of expectation, that's what all God wants for your life, is for you to understand that I expect to have great things to happen for me on a daily basis. And once you start understanding that, once you start living in expectation of greater, of an expectation of more than enough. He says, I came that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Let me tell you something. If you're not in expectation of abundance, you'll never receive it. If you're not in expectation of financial freedom, you'll never receive it. If you're not in expectation of healing, then you'll never receive it. If you're not in expectation of growth, then you'll never receive it. If you're not in expectation of joy, then you'll never receive it. Let me tell you something. You've got to understand everything is built off of expectation. If you don't expect, that's what faith is. Faith is expectation of something happening in your life that has not happened yet, but you see it happening, and that's expectation. So you've got to understand, you've got to walk in fearlessness and know that everything has already been provisioned for you. But in order for you to receive it, you've got to expect it. I'm going to say that again. Everything in life that you've wanted or desired is already been provisioned for you. But in order for you to receive it, you've got to expect it. I want to tell you today that there are some things that are going to come to you without a shadow of a doubt that you haven't even imagined it coming like that, but because you're in expectation, it's going to hit you by storm, and it's going to take you to places that you never thought it would take you. It's going to take you to people that you never thought it would take you. It would take you to a place, even in your finances will grow, because why? You're now in expectation of things happening for you differently than they did before. So Facebook, I want to tell you today, as Fearless Friday, walk in fearlessness of expectations and know that no matter what the circumstance looks like, if you're in expectation of great things happening for your life, they will. But you've got to understand, with those expectations comes standards. So Facebook, I love you. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. You enjoy the rest of your fantastic, fabulous Fearless Friday.